women expect men to just do things without having any feeling behind it.
I know.
And it's kind of sad because, like, it's not fair. Like, I talk to men and I hear this sentiment over and over again. It's like men don't get the opportunity
to express
just express themselves or to have feelings. And, you know, that can be very isolating, but also it doesn't allow them to show up as their best self.
All right. What's up?
Welcome back.
Yes.
Installment 2.
Girl talk. Actually, we both were kind of discussing how I think we've kind of lost our way as women on how to operate in relationships, friendships, male to woman relationship as well. Just how you conduct yourself as a lady. I was just talking how, like, even when you respond to men,
I had an experience today.
Yes.
And I caught myself after, but I was like, why is that my default?
Right.
Yeah.
And like, even like, I was telling her how, like, I was out on a date and I paid for our meal, and my attitude was like, oh, I wanted him to feel like I don't need him. And she checked me something so fast, and I loved it though. It was just like, you know, why have that mindset as a woman? Just say, like, I'm doing it because I want you to feel appreciated, because that's how I feel when you pay for me. I feel appreciated. So it was just really nice. I think that as women, we need to have a different mindset, a different response sometimes, how you speak to one another, girlfriend to girlfriend, like I said, your friend to your male friend, or to your husband.
I 1000% like agree, and I love this topic because even though I'm a work in progress, we all are, I understand the power of like how we think, what we say to ourselves. Like, I had a terrible day Friday. Oh my God, I had a terrible day Friday. But I knew in all of that, like, the words that I say to myself in those moments are what's gonna matter. Like, the things that I say to myself. And when it comes to what you said, I feel like women expect men to just do things without having any feeling behind it.
I know.
And it's kind of sad because, like, it's not fair. Like, I talk to men and I hear this sentiment over and over again. It's like men don't get the opportunity
to express
themselves or to have feelings. And, you know, that can be very isolating, but also it doesn't allow them to show up as their best self. Because imagine if you were just doing and nobody's ever saying thank you genuinely. Like, nobody's going out of their way to make sure that you understand, acknowledge. And I think that, I don't know why that is, but it's something that has been said to me, like, directly on numerous occasions. And I just think if we shift our mindset, when she said it to me, I was like, wait, why would you think that way? Like, why would your mindset be, I want him to know that I don't need him?
Right.
And it's crazy because to do with like paying for a meal. You just want him to feel appreciated the same way you would feel appreciated when a meal is paid for you. Like, he is as deserving as you are to feel that feeling. Like, why would it be on some, like, I want him to know that I don't need him. So why are you out with him? Like, that doesn't make any sense to me. Like, why would you even want to be
with that,
in a man's company that you didn't feel like, I want him to feel appreciated too.
Right. And maybe, and I think, you know, that comes with times. That comes with, you know, the attitudes that are presented in movies and TV shows and music and, you know, social media. It's like, you know, it's always like, you know, you need to come with a bag in order for you to date me. Like, you got to drop some bread for you to date me.
So transactional.
And it's like now it's like, I want him to feel like, hey, you know what? I don't need that. You know what I mean? Like, I can do for my own, when technically that's not a good mindset either. It really isn't.
It's definitely not a good mindset.
You know, right. It's like,
and I think we get tricked into feeling like we can do it all. And I think that comes at a cost. I think like doing it all comes at a cost. I would even say for myself, like, I use myself as an example. I'm definitely getting to an age and a stage where I don't want to do it all, right? I don't want to do it all. I know that there's like, sometimes there's a necessary evil. Like, I got to do it, got to get this off the ground. But I think it's so healthy to lean into your partner or lean into somebody that you trust, who you care about. And that starts off with your mindset.
And can I just say too, like, I want to be led. Like, I want to be led. I want to be able to be submissive to a certain degree, because me being a single mother, you know what I mean? It's hard as well, just trying to be strong And women take on so much as well. You know what I mean? Like just being a mother, a mom, a wife, taking care of the household, that can be overwhelming as well.
No, it definitely is. It can be exhausting. Like,
girl,
it can be exhausting. I think being a woman, and again, it's not a compare and contrast. I think what I see has happened is like women are competing with the experiences that men are having, and men are kind of like saying, well, your experiences are not the same as our experiences, when they were never really designed to be that way.
That part.
They were never designed to be equivalent, right? It's just in our space, in what we're doing, these are the experiences that we're having.
Right.
In your space and what you're doing, those are the experiences that you're having. They're not meant to be congruent. You know what I mean? And I think when we're competing in that space, when you minimize or say that my experience is not valid, or it's not as challenging as yours, or it's not the same as yours, it's like, it almost feels like you're dismissing the work that I'm putting in. Even if it's not equivalent to what you're doing. Like, even if it's not the same as what you're doing, it feels like I'm being invalidated.
Right.
And that triggers me.
Because, I mean, don't get me wrong, like, just because I work from home, I still have to take care of that home. There's clothes, there's cleaning, there's the kid, there's, still my job. Like, I still have things too. And once again, not saying that my situation is no worse than yours or better, but we have to acknowledge one another. We have to appreciate one another, because my role is my role and your role is your role. And we should have some type of expectations on one another. I mean, her being my friend, becoming one of my besties, like, I hold her to accountable just like she holds me to accountable. Absolutely. And that is what I expect. That's my friend. I told her.
But it's uncomfortable though.
It is, but that's what friends do. And actually love that feeling when you're walking into something that's going to be tough, but you gotta push through this.
We had one of those tough moments.
We had literally just before we got on.
We had one of those.
Compromise communication goes a long way in every aspect of your life, your relationship, your friendship, your familyship, your workship, like everything. You have to be open and honest with how you feel. You got to be ready to have that conversation even when they're tough. You know what I mean? Just kind of muster up that courage and say, okay, let's have a conversation and pray that you don't kill me in the end.
And she led with that. She came in, she was like, I hope we don't kill each other. And I'm like, girl, she was like, you leave with that.
Right, exactly.
Leave with that?
Right, I know.
No, but I think it's healthy. And one of the things I genuinely feel, because is a great tool and a great remedy for creators, for people who are doing business together, for friends who are doing business together especially, is to have a mediation clause in your contract or your agreement. What that does, two things. At the outset, lets you know that if we have a dispute, we're going to get a neutral party to come hear both of our sides and basically make a recommendation on how we can resolve it, right? And at that point, it takes it away from you and you. Like, I'm always going to feel like my position is the one, and she's going to feel like her position is the one. But when you bring in that neutral third party, if the goal is to get a resolution, that is what they're going to work to do.
Exactly. That's the goal.
I think is important because I see so many brands, podcasts, just people who are cool. When they hit an issue, it becomes like this huge blow up online. And it's like, I don't want that. I was thinking about this earlier because we talked about this last week, the whole cheating thing. We talked about cheating and how, like, when you get married, you want to be in a relationship where, like, your partner's not going to cheat. I was in the shower and I was thinking about it. I'm like, it's true, because it's like, that was one of the basic assumptions of the marriage. Because when you take your vows, right, that's something that you say, right? So it's a basic assumption of the marriage that you're going into. And I think whether it's time, socialization, like just modern times, like the conversation is almost shifting as kind of like it is what it is type thing.
Yes.
And I was like, well, hold on. If somebody were to trip, if there was a man or a woman who was on the receiving end of some cheating and they tripped, I feel like they would be justified and valid because that was one of the basic assumptions of the marriage.
The oath. I mean, when it comes down to it, a marriage is a contract. Okay, it is a valid contract. The contract is that you are mine and I am yours, and we are cleaving together, as so it says in the Bible.
You're correct when you say that you have to choose every day to be with that person. That is a everyday choice. One of my friends actually sent me a video, and the video was, a group of gentlemen sitting around. It was probably a podcast. And one of the gentlemen said that women think that they love unconditionally, but it's actually men who love unconditionally. And he went on to make the argument that women have an unlimited amount of tolerance, but they don't love unconditionally. But it's the opposite for men. Like, men can love you unconditionally, but won't tolerate a whole bunch. Now, my point is this. I don't think it is natural for any person, to somebody that they are not related to by blood, to love them unconditionally. I just don't think that is a natual thing. I think if you aspire to that, I think that is great.
Awesome.
I think that is great. And I also think that that may be one of the assumptions of marriage. However, if you become unlovable, I'm not gonna die on that cross, right? Like, I'm not going to love you even when you're unlovable.
Girl, preach.
You know what I mean?
Preach.
And the thing is, whether that is right or wrong, I'm open to both, and I'm open to being influenced to think or see it a different way. But I just don't think that anybody really, like, if you become, it's somebody that you're not related to by blood.
Go for your dreams, no matter what you're doing. Just be true to yourself. I feel like we've also had that conversation that being true to yourself is going to help you navigate through all of your relationships. You know what I'm saying? With that conversation, just say, hey, you know what? This is how I feel. You know what I mean? And it's okay. And the person that you're dealing with, if they love you enough, if they care about you enough, they're going to hear you out. And hopefully they'll be willing to make some adjustments. And at this point, that's all you can really do. What did I tell you? Plant the seed.
Yeah.
And you don't have to watch it grow. You know what I mean? Like, you could just step away from it. It's not something that you have to water or nurture all the time, but you definitely have to get how you feel out there. And communication is such a must. And even just like I said, as women, we should be able to express ourselves. As men as well, you men should be able to express yourself the way how you feel, and we should be able to receive you. Absolutely. We should be receiving each other, for real.
No, I agree. One of the things that I'm really passionate about, and I feel like it's part of my purpose and what God put me on this earth to do, is to restore. You know, like, I think that I would love to have a group of women who are genuinely interested in building relationships with men, genuinely interested in changing the narrative. Like, the narrative is so toxic and so bad right now. But I think that men want it. I think women want it. I just don't think we know how to want it together from each other. There's a lot of work.
We love one another. Like, I love my black men, and I know that there are a lot of black men out there that will not touch anything but a black woman. You feel me?
But we have a lot of work to do.
We do have a lot of work to do. We have a lot
of work to do, because the men's complaints are many, but a lot of them are true. You know, like, I think back to earlier today, and I had to ask myself, like, why do I get annoyed
so easily?
I
know. Even with just my son, just with my kids.
Why? You know what I mean?
I'm just like,
and
I mean, listen.
I don't have the answer, right? I don't have the answer, but what I can say is that I want to shift that. Like, I don't understand why, but I want to shift that. And sometimes that takes unpacking certain situations.
But like I said, I've learned, like I said,
go like that.
Because, I mean,
why do you think we're like that? Why do you think that black women just
have no patience
with black men? We have more patience with our job.
Absolutely. I mean, because we getting paid. Like,
and what does that mean?
That means I got to take care of the household. So there's.
Would you have more patience with your mom?
Yeah, that's mom's. Like, mom's.
Okay, so rank it for me. Where does the man come in that?
Ooh.
I just want to see something. I just want to know, like,
okay, so
where does he come in?
Let's keep it 100, and I'm gonna still keep it real 100. When your man is doing right, and
what does that mean?
Meaning, like, you know, he's doing what he's supposed to do. There's no arguments. Everything's good. You know, he laying it down. Like, everything is just, like, good. Then, yeah, he's on the top of the list. And I feel
so
like...
It's additional.
It's
no, go ahead.
Temporary. No.
Well... Okay.
I mean, because, you know, at some point, but I feel like...
But wait, though. You know what's interesting? Because it's conditional. So if he's doing right, if he's doing all the things you enumerated, he's at the top.
Yeah.
But if he's not,
okay, so
he's at the bottom?
No.
Where?
You're telling him, because I feel like you kind of you're giving him grace by letting him know, listen, I have you here, but the way how you're acting, I'm gonna put you down on the bottom. And I'm not trying to put you here, but you're pushing yourself down. And I think that a lot of women, you know, this is when we start expressing ourselves. This is when we start like asking for more. We're starting to tell you this is what we need, and I need you to hear me. I need you to make those changes. And then,
can you give me an example of something that would cause the man to go from here to here?
I mean, shoot, it could be lack of attention, lack of, you know, responsibilities. It could be a lack of, you know, it could be a lack of a lot of things. But I think responsibility and intimacy or attention, you know, that starts putting a woman in a position where they feel like, okay, if I feel like I have to do everything on my own, then I'm going to start doing without you. And you don't want that. Okay. Same thing. If you're constantly going out and, you know, you got your attention over here, over there, but it's not with me, then I'm going to have to get my attention somewhere else. So that's when you start getting put down on the bottom. So I think those two major things for a woman is when you start seeing a shift in a woman. And but I feel like most women, we are, well, I'm not going to say all of us, but most of us are very expressive. And we will tell you, we will definitely tell you, you're going to get hits, you're going to get told. It might not be in a way that you want to hear us as, because now we're kind of fed up. So we're not delivering it.
But let me ask you a question though. Let me ask you a question though.
Mm-hmm.
Because this is something that I'm trying to work on too. Mm-hmm. So is it your responsibility to deliver the message in a way that they can receive it?
Absolutely.
So when you say, you know, that you might not want to hear, so you're basically saying that once you get to a point,
because then it turns into nagging to them.
Okay.
Like, now you're nagging about this, and, you know, it's like you constantly saying this, and I'm like, okay, I'm telling you because ain't nothing changed, bruh. So now it's like you're looking at it as if I'm nagging, but was telling you this like months ago. Like, I need that change. I need a little bit more in this department.
Let me so you have a responsibility to talk correctly, or to talk in a way that the man will receive it, right?
Yeah.
And you feel like when you say it repeatedly, you're nagging, right?
To them, they see it as
nagging. Have we ever considered? Because I'm trying to like look at things differently. Have we ever considered that maybe the man, you know, maybe he's dealing with some things that hasn't really given him the opportunity to attend to the things that you've asked him to do?
Which is why,
are we being fair enough? To,
right,
to consider that maybe there's some. Hold on, let me finish this thought. Maybe there's something going on with the man that
is keeping him or
is preventing him from doing the thing that you asked him to do.
Okay.
But hold on, wait. Hear me out. But because he's a man and he knows that he can't complain to you. Hold on, he can't complain to you. Do you agree?
Hey, can we talk about that? Wait, can we unpack that though? Wait. Can we unpack that though? See, this is what I'm saying.
Wait, hold on. You get off topic. Hold on. Can we agree? Because hold on.
See,
maybe once in a while.
That's
Maybe
the
once in a while. Hold on. I'm not talking about what you want to do in the future or what in the perfect world. I'm saying majority of cases.
Yeah,
a man is not going to feel like I'm going to go to my woman and complain to her about what's going on in my world.
And that's a problem.
Hold on.
That's a problem on top of the problem.
Hold on. I hear you. I do hear you.
Why are y'all like that?
But let's finish this question. So my question to you, is: have you ever considered, like, in your own, you tried to drag me. You tried to drag me when I went to get it, but now, have you ever considered that when you tell your man to do something, that maybe there's something getting in his way from doing the thing that you asked him to do, juxtaposed to he's just not doing it because he's not trying to? Have you ever considered that?
Absolutely.
I have not.
I have considered that.
I have not. Let me be honest. If I tell my husband to do something, I'm just being honest. If I tell my husband to do something and 2 weeks go by, he hasn't done the thing that I asked him to do, my mindset at that point is you chose not to do it.
And it's arcing.
And I want to shift that because I have things in my life that I'm supposed to do, have been putting off to do, that I just haven't had the time to do. So I should be able to shoot my man the same grace I give myself.
Absolutely.
And that is the place that I'm at right now, where I'm like, I should not, like, we should see men as human.
Yeah, here's the thing. I am the type of woman that will find the problem and I will try and find a solution with that problem.
That's me too.
You know what I'm saying? Like, okay, listen, if I'm telling you to take out the trash every day and you're not, I'm trying to keep it really simple, right? I'm the type of woman, then I will take the trash out of the can and set it right by the door. You feel me? I do right by the door.
I do that. I do that.
Run the trash can, please.
I don't want to do that though.
I shouldn't have to.
I don't want to do that, but I would have
to.
Like right now, I'm probably gonna have to take the trash out because my husband went to work and the trash is still here.
So my point is you know, when it gets more intense, where I feel like, okay, look, listen, I understand maybe you want to have more money, right? So then I would say, hey, you know, why don't you try going for a different position? Like ask for like the manager position, or try to do this or try to do that.
So you got to see if you qualify for the manager position. I'm just saying,
first. But still though, I feel like as
you're going to come with a solution.
I'm going to come with a solution. That's all I'm trying to say. Like, so as women, we need to help our men, especially, you know, if that's your man, like put him on, you feel me? However, though, I don't like the fact that we're in this area where men feel like they can't express themselves with us. And that's a problem. But they don't though. And let me tell you,
most women,
they will use it against them.
Not even only that. Let's just be honest. I'm not saying it's right, but we don't want to hear our man complaining. Listen, I'm just being real. I'm not saying it's right. I'm not saying it's right, and we need to get.
That's all the way wrong.
Hold on, wait. Cool. We need to get to a point where, here.
You like this one?
Yeah, I was just giving you more, but
thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you.
Here, you can take those. Okay. So what I'm saying is, I'm not saying it's right, but the reality is that in the world that is so hard, when I hear, this is so bad, but it's true, when I hear my man complaining, you know what my mind automatically goes to? So are you gonna quit?
No, that's not. That's
because like I'm just like, okay, because
that's not cool.
I know
yeah,
it's bad. Because I'm like, are you gonna quit? Because in my mind, I'm thinking people who complain, usually they're trying to get out of something. If you're complaining about something, no, hold on. Okay, the first time you tell me, you just mentioned. If you come to me 4 times more after that,
once again, I'm
trying to understand, like,
two things are happening here. Your man wants to express himself.
Absolutely.
Number one.
And so let you express yourself.
So here's the thing. All you have to do is just sit there and be all ears. Sometimes men just want to talk. That's something that I learned when I was out in the streets, kind of. Back in the day.
But I'm saying.
Hold on, wait. And number two.
Yep.
Number two, it's okay to give a solution to
that's what I'm
to
saying
the problem.
To you.
So like if your man is coming to home and he's like, man, you know, there's this person, like every time I come into work, my manager, he's always doing this, he's always doing that, bam. It's like, dang, baby, like, you know, why do you think he's doing like this, like to you? You know, just kind of like pick right, ask him some questions. Mm-hmm. Okay, so then it's like, hey, well, babe, what?
Hi, who's that?
Do you think like maybe you can?
Hi, how are you?
Thanks for joining. You know, you can say, hey babe, like maybe you might want to go into a different department. Is that available to you? Like what other options do you have so you don't have to work with this person, right? Like what if that is the situation. So once again, as women, we need to let men express themselves.
For sure.
Let them just be an opening ear if that's all that is, and or have a solution for your man, because then now that puts it in his brain, and then it's like, okay, well, you know what, man, maybe you know what,
maybe you're right.
Yeah, you're right. Maybe I can go into like a different, you know, department. You know what I mean? Like, and babe,
I'm all for that.
Thank you, because you saved my life. I was stressed and I was wanting to quit. Like, you feel me? Like it could have been that.
Hold on,
but you saved my life,
and I'm all for that. And I think naturally,
this one was sweeter.
I know.
Oh, that one was sweet.
I know. I'm telling that's why I was peeping them when we were sitting here. And I gotta get one. But no, I think that, and I agree with that. But I'm saying if you're complaining about the same thing repeatedly, my mind automatically goes to, and I don't know why this is.
You want him to create his own solution?
No, because I probably gave a solution the first time. first or second time.
So you want him to do something about it?
I want you to I want you to here's the thing. You know what I want? Because we can complain about something, but it doesn't change it. Yeah, so let's complain the first time. Let's complain the first time, maybe even the second time. But by the third time,
it's over.
Yeah, because now it's like, so what are we doing about it? That's my thing. So what are we gonna do about it? Like, let's put our energy. Yeah, right.
We'll have a little piece of some nona. Wait a minute.
Oh my God. Hydrate yourself. No, but by the third time, to be honest with you, I hate to say like, are you gonna quit? But I just want to know. I want to get to the terminal end point of the thing that you're telling me. Like what are we doing? Are we gonna quit? Are we stopping? Are we transferring? Are we? What can I do to help you get past telling me about this same thing a fourth time?
Oh my goodness.
That's what I'm saying. I'm just being honest. I'm not saying I'm whole. I'm just saying that's how I feel. I feel like if I came to you and complained to you, just be honest. If I came to you and I complained to you 4 times about the same thing,
yeah,
are you gonna have the same interest and enthusiasm as the first time?
Why? No, I totally agree with you. I feel like you're beating a dead horse.
The horse is dead. Been dead, ain't coming back. You can't resurrect it.
So that, I think, to me is like that's like your personal, like what are we gonna do about it? Like, I think that you're gonna act like that and have that type of response with like anyone and everyone.
Anyone.
You're right, absolutely.
Because my thing is, the first time you're telling me,
but what if that is all he felt like
he needed to do?
No, not that, but like, say that's his form of, I want to talk to my wife, and this is what I want to talk about. Like, I'm just saying, what if that was how he felt? Like,
I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm gonna be so honest with you. Listen, I am not saying, because what I'm about to say to you right now is my truth. I want you to judge me.
Please talk about steak. Talk about oranges.
I don't want you to judge me. But here's the thing. My life is so stressful right now that listening to you complain about something for the 4th time is going to trigger me. Like, and I don't. And the thing is, maybe if I had less on my plate, then I could probably like shoot you some bail. But here's the thing. I'm committed to working with you to come up with a solution. But also, like, if that is the way that you communicate, like, I'm going to try. I'm definitely going to try. I'm going to try to listen to you without interrupting. And I've done this, like, sometimes, because the first time you're trying...
Interrupting. That means she listened. I've heard this already. Cut it. Oh. Two sentences in. We talking about the same thing again? Oh my goodness.
Like, hold on, I already know the story. I already know what you're going to say. Hold on.
And it's crazy because, I mean, like, I have a friend. And... like that's his conversation. You know what I'm saying?
That's how he gets down.
I mean, there's just...
And the thing is, you got to know who you can go to with that, though.
Right.
Like, absolutely. You have to know that I'm not the person to come to for that particular thing.
But you know what I love, though? I just love that he's open and willing to talk to me about...
that's dope. No. But my thing is, again, I think it's circumstantial.
Yeah.
Because I feel like if I had...
Because it's not a complaint, but like, if I ask you like, hey babe, how's your day going? Yeah, how was your day? Then
if it's like see, there's a difference between like your problem being my problem and you have a problem and you just want to talk about it.
Right.
There's a big difference. Okay, because if my husband has a problem, it's kind of my problem too.
Well, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I mean, it depends on what it is. I mean, if you just, but you're one. So, like, if something is a problem for you, it's probably going to be a problem for me, too. Because I'm like, okay, I might not take on the problem, but, it's going to be a consideration. So, what I'm saying is, you have to know who you can go to with that. Like, I know who I can call if I just want to run a story back a third time. I know that there's just some people you're not going to be able to do that with. I think that there are some people you're just not, because the thing is, if I had 40% less on my plate, I might be able to just hear you out. And just let you talk and vent.
Keep it going.
And you know what I mean?
You want it on repeat, baby. Go ahead and say it again.
And the thing is, because for me, I feel like productivity, right? So if I'm hearing something, I'm like, okay, this is a problem. I automatically go into solution mode. I'm automatically like, well, have you tried this? And, part of like leadership training, they'll tell you have to ask the right questions. Because the right questions are going to bring out the information that you need to try to come up with something, right? So I'm probably going to be asking you a bunch of questions.
I'm learning.
I'm going to ask you a bunch of questions at first. And then once I get all the information that I need, I'm going to be able to say, well, I'll proffer a solution for you. Well, have you tried this? Well, maybe you should try this. Right. Cool. You don't have to do any of them. Right. You don't have to do any of them. I'm just saying, those are just
the options are there. Mm-hmm.
But when you double back again, now I'm like, okay, but did you try any of those? No, I didn't try any of those.
So then, yeah. I mean, and
you know what I'm saying?
I'm trying to raise my son to be the same way. Like, if you're going to stay in the situation, we really can't really complain about this anymore. Like,
because you're not changing, you're choosing.
Yeah, exactly. So it's like, just deal with it now at this point.
But I do think that the takeaway for me in like this season is to try and understand that men as well, deserve grace, and we should inquire. We shouldn't just assume that because he's a man, he just got it. You know what I mean? Or he just got it figured out. Like, that collaborative spirit, I think, needs to show up more in relationships. And instead of just defaulting to, he didn't do it because he didn't want to, it really could be he didn't do it because he was tired, because he had to work, or he didn't do it because, he don't know how to, or he didn't do it because any reason, insert reason. And instead of judging them based off of that,
which is why communication,
instead of judging them based off of that, try to understand and be understanding and be flexible. Because sometimes people ask me for certain things and I don't know. Like, I don't know how I'm going to help them with that, or I don't know if I can help them with that. I try to be direct and upfront about it, but, men are definitely different. They navigate the world in such a different way than we do. We get a lot of provisions, and things that cater to us as women that men don't get. And imagine being in a situation where you don't know what to do. You don't know how to navigate, but somebody's looking at you and expecting you to do it right.
Meanwhile, we'll have a moment and cry, and then we'll brainstorm, but like for a man, it's like you always have to have this tough exterior, and say like, I know what I'm going to do next, and even though in your mind you don't know what you're going to do next,
and that's a scary place to be in, because even when I go through like different trials or different things that pop up and I don't know, and I sit there and I contemplate like, oh my God, how am I going to do this? You know what I mean? And I know that whether it's said or unsaid, like if I trip and fall or I stumble, I know that I can go. There are people that I can go and that are going to help me and help me out of this. So I'm not even operating on the same level as a man, because a man is not going to just go. Maybe he doesn't have
a lot of people. A lot of men don't.
That he can just go to and say, man, I messed up. I need help. You know what I mean? Right. They don't have that. I know right now I have at least 5 people that if anything were to really pop off, I can go to
one of them people.
I can call them and they're going to be like, okay, this is how we're going to do this. Or you know what? I'm on the way.
Which is why I really want to make it like so important for men. Like, I love men who have good friends. I feel like, a good community. I have posted a picture of like a bunch of men. They were all married and showing it. And it's like, I can tell when men are right. Exactly. Yeah. The Forge, such a good movie. You guys watch The Forge. It is on Netflix. You should definitely watch it. But yeah, you guys need to be able to express yourself, and I know that other men can help you kind of navigate through certain questions and trials and tribulations. And us women, like I said, we need to be more catering, more open, more sensitive, more loving, more caring, more nurturing when it comes down to men and their issues and their problems, because they have feelings too.
You know what it is, though? You know what I hear a lot? men feel that women don't care.
I know. I mean, the females nowadays, they don't. Shoot, they like, where the bag at? Where the bag at? And I'm like, okay, wait a minute. Hold on.
And so, in order for because I'm looking at it from a man's perspective, like in order for a man to genuinely feel like, okay, I'm actually going to give this a fair consideration, a fair thought, like I would want to know that the type of woman that I'm going to give that up for actually cares.
Exactly.
Right. And so I think that men do have a valid concern and, you know, their reservations in dealing with or really just being fully all in with a woman is well founded, because if the consensus is that the woman is only in this insofar as what she's going to gain, what she's gonna get.
Which let's be very honest and let's be like very clear. We're all gaining something in a relationship,
but it's not the same though. It's not the same because
come on. I mean, but I'm just saying
because men.
If women play their part, then a man is gonna get a good woman, and if the man play his part, the woman's gonna get a good man.
True,
so
but it's predicated on the man actually having to show first. The man actually has to, and think about it, you have a son, I have two sons, they're going to go on the dating market one day, and they're going to come to you and they're going to say, this girl is requiring X, Y, Z, and you're going to be like, hold on.
Right.
Hold on. She want what? Well, you better relax.
She's not your role.
Yeah. So what I'm saying is the man actually has the higher burden initially.
Yeah, no, you're absolutely correct.
Because he's expected to plan the date.
And I wasn't raised like that. I wasn't raised like that. I was raised, I didn't have my dad was not in my household. It was just me, my mom, and my sister. And my mom always raised me to say, like, have your own money, make sure you drive your own car, like meet the man there at the place, don't have him pick you up, just so that way, that's where that whole, like, if you need to pay for your own meal or your drinks, whatever, you have your own, because you never know. And it's refreshing, I think, for men to see, like, oh, okay, like, you know what I mean? Like, okay, she can do that, because yes, that's the expectation. I think it is. It's definitely a balancing act.
Because I think that there are some men that maybe.
I mean, do I want you to pay for the meal for the first meal? Absolutely, but just in case.
Yeah. No. I mean, I think the Black community in general pedestalizes money in a way that is truly unhealthy.
And the only reason for that is because I feel
lacking.
It's like we ain't never really had it, so it's like we gotta show it, we gotta wear it, we have to let people know that we got money. When I'm telling you, the richest man out here is walking around in the dingiest shirt. You would never even know that this person is a CEO, grandkids got, like, it's just money.
And, again, the point I was making is that we pedestalize money in a way that is truly unhealthy. Because, I actually posted this, I think, on Threads. Follow me on Threads at Only City.
And Paper Mishae.
I posted something on Threads and I said, it's interesting how we put money on such a pedestal. It is a tool. It is meant to be a resource that we're supposed to utilize to navigate, right? And when we do that, when we actually do that, right?
A healthy way. There's healthy and unhealthy ways.
As in the collective, it moves you forward. But what happens if you have the man who is making a bunch of money and he gets in a car accident and now he's indisposed? It doesn't make him less of a loving person or less character-wise as a person. He had an accident.
Right.
And so does it mean that man is no longer valuable or he's unlovable? No. And so I think women always, when you lead with money is at the forefront of everything. And I'm not saying money isn't important. It's a tool, right? It's a resource. It's something that you're supposed to use to obtain things, but it's not supposed to take on an identity that becomes part and parcel of what your expectation or what your requirement is, because it can be here today
and it can be
tomorrow it's gone.
Tomorrow, baby.
And if you are saying that my love is contingent upon you always having it. What man, why would you want your son to go get with a woman who had that mentality?
Absolutely. Yeah. I mean, I think that is...
Because that basically means that your son's value is only based on how much money he can make. Now, I'm not saying that men shouldn't be ambitious and want to make a bunch of money, but I also think that everybody's situation is
not make that a sole reason why you're even dating a man in the first place.
Because the thing is, everybody's life is so nuanced. Somebody could have, literally their starting point would have been at 5 years old. From the time they were 5 years old, they have a great family, they had all these things. And then you have somebody who maybe their life, not life literally, but their competitive ability started when they were 15. Right. The person who started at 5 and the person who started at 15, they're not going to be in the same place when they both reach 40. Exactly. But you're judging them based off of their starting point, and they didn't choose that. Right. They didn't choose to start at 5 or start at 15. It just is the cards that they were dealt. Now, I think that there are some character traits that are indicative of somebody who is willing and wanting to do better. But you have to understand, you have to really take stock of somebody's entire life before you judge them. It's like just saying, okay,
that's the fair way of doing things.
But I think if we actually got to know the man for the man versus the man for the money.
Right, of course.
That's what I'm saying. Totally because agree. Men are not just they're not just money. I'm not saying money's not important. I'm just saying they're more than how much money that they make.
I could tell you, listen, I definitely had to leave my relationship based on financials, you know what I mean? But it was just decision making as well, that played a part on it. So, it sucks that finances and money, it plays a big part. And I hate to say oh goodness, it's like money don't buy you happiness, but
it buys you the things you need. It buys you the things that you need.
But being bad and broke is definitely is also a saying as well. So it's like, you gotta...
But broke, I think is... I'm not saying that it's not a state of being. Because you can be broke financially. But you can also be broke mentally. And I feel like... No, you really can. You really can be broke mentally. And I think...
And see, and and so here's the thing now. What about a man who identifies
as being broke?
No, and no, when they don't have money, it's like they can't live their life either, though. And a lot of men do tend to move that way, where it's like, okay, well, I can't do anything because I ain't got no money. So now it's like, well, if you can't do anything,
you can't do anything because you ain't got no money.
So that's what I'm saying. So that's where it's like you're.
But
taking
do you think that
on,
isn't? Hold on, but hold on, wait.
Does that take?
Hold on, wait. Hold on, wait.
That whole mentality, that whole outlook on life, and it's like you can't.
Hold on, we gotta take 2 steps back real quick. But the broke mentality is something that I don't know. I think I genuinely feel. Though what you said was they act like they can't do anything with money, but you can't do anything with money.
You can't.
And here's the thing. I think a lot of women say, well, it's not all about money, right? But when the man doesn't have any money, you don't treat him like the man that has money.
Because they don't maneuver in the way that a man has money.
Maneuver way. So
that's what I'm saying.
So then the man who doesn't... Hold on. So because... Again, it's a mindset. Women prioritize money. That is the thing that they see as the sine qua non. Like, that is the pinnacle. If a woman were to be able to treat a man who didn't have money, had character, had ambition, had drive, had all of these good things, but he didn't have money in that moment, if she was able to treat that man the same way she treated the man who had money, then that broke mentality would cease to exist. But women's fascination and prioritization, so if she was able to do that to the man who didn't have money, then that broke mentality wouldn't exist. But we prioritize it. So the man can't help but to feel inferior from a woman because he understands very intimately that this woman is going to see me through the lens of how much money I have.
I understand that. Okay. So now, something that my father told me, that there's a hustle in people. There just is. And some people have it and some people don't. And so to be broke, if you don't have that hustle in you, and like I said, I see the potential in you, but if you're not applying that, if you're not doing what needs to be done to get to that point, and like I said, yeah, we can say that is temporary, but then there are some people that stay stagnant right here. There's no growth. And like I said, I saw a lot. I saw potential. I saw, so much more. I wanted more for this person. I, thought that it could be, but it did not work out. And unfortunately, like I said, for me, it was financial. So, that mentality was there, and it was hard for this person to shake it. So I had to leave him where he was, because once again, I'm the type of woman that's like, hey, you should do this. You should try doing that. Like, you're in this field, so why don't you get that? Like, that's going to, make you make more money. And unfortunately, I'm just saying from my own personal experiences that not everybody has a down period. Sometimes that's their level. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And it's unfortunate. It really is unfortunate. But I always felt like, hey, there's somebody out there that's on that level, and y'all can be on that level together.
I hear you, and I respect it. I don't have nothing. I mean, it is what it is. I just think that the general consensus from the men is that women, and what's interesting is the reverse to that, or the corollary to that, is that women pedestalize their lady parts.
Oh my gosh.
And then the consequence to that is that that's what men want, because that is the thing that we are.
Bro, we gotta break this. Like, we really have to stop this. Like, it's so annoying. I'm out at a hookah bar, right? And this young lady, she comes up and, she's like, yeah, I can eat these men up, and whoop the whoop whoop bam, and my is this and my is that, and I can and I'm just like, girl, I just had to stop her, and I said, you're so beautiful. You seem educated. I said, why do you feel like you have to lead with that? Like, it's uncomfortable. I don't want to hear it. You feel me? And it's like, I don't know if you think that you're going to get the men around me to pay attention to you because that's what you feel like you got to lead with that. But it's got to stop. It has to stop, for real. Like, we are women. We have more substance than that. We all have brains, though. I mean, it got to be more than just your lady part. Your flower is beautiful. We all have one. That's the thing. So it's like, you're out here with everybody else. Like, girl, who do you think I am? You know what I'm saying? So I just don't want that to be the end all be all. That shouldn't be what you start with, and vice versa. Men, women going to men, and men going to women.
That's what the women have.
But I'm just saying though, come on.
Well,
just saying, where's the conversation? Can you cook? Can you clean? Do you like to travel? Do you work out? Do you like to go hiking? I mean, there is so much more to life. I love to travel. I mean, walks on the beach. I know it's corny, but it's gotta stop though. It has to stop. And it's like, I feel like we'll get more respect from men. And if men feel like they
get more respect from men when we're more respectable.
I mean,
I'm just saying.
Close to that.
I ain't got the drink, but cheers. I'm just saying, because I think that women love, and again, I'm a woman. I'm just saying, I see, okay? I observe. I am a student of the game.
And we talked about this as well, and we kind of said, what was the catalyst? Where is this starting? Where is it stemming from? Who is, promoting this? And I truly feel like it's the music. When you have certain artists that are just it's...
But I think the music is representative of what's happening in popular culture. So I don't think, it's kind of like saying which one came first, the chicken or the egg. I think that the actual...
Well, let's just be honest, because like I said, I'm a Christian, and I do know that secular music is more popular than Christian music. So you have to look at the whole industry, the music industry. This is what they want us. This is what they're willing to put out. And I feel like even Cardi B was like, I don't want to make this type of music anymore. I'm over it. I gave you the WAP. I gave you this. I gave you that. I want to, write about different stuff. And if it doesn't line up with what the industry wants to put out, they're not going to put it out.
I actually have a different take, and I could be wrong because I haven't researched this or anything like this. This is not. This is just predicated on my sentiment. So I will preface everything that I'm going to say with that.
Pure opinion.
So I actually think that if the marketplace wanted something different, the music would reflect that. Let me give you an example.
Okay.
If you had, 60 to 70% of, college grads, right? They were in book clubs, and they were doing, they would have daytimes, and they would go to just different events, and everybody would just be reading, or there were people who were going to poetry lounges, and the things that people were doing were different, the music would reflect that. Because remember, the music industry is a business. I need to make music to appeal to the consumer and meet them where they are. So I don't think that there is a marketplace that is demanding a different type of music. I think that the music that is being produced and distributed is a manifestation of what people want.
Exactly.
And so I don't agree with the sentiment. Now again, I could be wrong.
You know
I leave room to be wrong here.
I like that aspect. I like that thought because I do realize, because like I said, I'm not a Sexy Red fan, but when I was she had a situation where, you know, she wanted to perform at like an elementary school or something, or like a middle school. It was something crazy. Young kids. And the problem is that the kids want it. And so
elementary kids? In closing, I do believe we have to have a complete mindset shift. Now, I understand that it's not going to be easy because there are a lot of women who are benefiting from the current state of things. And there are a lot of women who are not enjoying the current state of things. But I do think that...
And same with men.
The bottom line is that women, we need to learn to be a little bit more understanding. We need to really, really go back to the table and understand, like, what is it that men really, really want out of their woman? And then we actually have to try to be those things.
So,
try to be those things.
My closing statement would be, you know, it's all about communication, especially if you really are rocking with someone. You know, don't hesitate to have that conversation. Ask those questions. What do you want? You know, what do you expect from me as a woman, and what can I expect from you as a man? And kind of like, let's give each other grace. Give each other, you know, like patience and love. That is what Jesus would do. You know what I'm saying? I'm just saying. I agree. So, you know, with that, I think we can all, as a community, especially Black women, Black men, I want us to love on one another. I want us to protect one another. I want us to ride for one another.
Your perspective matters.
Yes, it does. Yes, come through. Like,
I like that name.
Yes, I love it too. So yeah, that's pretty much it for tonight.
All right. Well,
girl
subscribe.
time. Yes.
Subscribe to the podcast, guys. Go
Hear
to
Me
YouTube.
Out.
Hear Me Out with
2 E's in the me.
Hit the subscribe button. Hit the bell notification so that you guys don't miss an upload. This live will go up on our YouTube at some point in the next week or so. Yes. But yes, make sure you guys.
And can I say, Mama's is in the house tonight. Yes, you feel me?
All right, y'all.
Love, peace. Mwah.
And follow. Make sure you follow.